guys, it's Meg, and doing something a little different. I've been meaning to do some body reviews and stuff for my dolls that I've had for a while, but I'm kind of lazy, so I haven't. But I guess I'm doing that now. So fair warning, there will be some doll nudity. This is for my newest completed doll, not really my newest doll, Deacon, for the Island Doll Hua body. I believe it was in normal skin. This is a 48cm body when with a head. Yeah, so incoming doll nudity. So I will try to cover him as best I can. So this is Deacon. For reference, the body was normal skin and his head was deep oriental. His head is a DS doll dog or dragon shell doll in MSD. So I struggled to find a body that worked for this head, and I didn't find it in the color that I needed because I think deep oriental is actually I think that's a custom color that Marina does, or did. So yeah, I basically had to dye his body, which turned out really great. I think it looks really awesome. I mean, I can't even tell the difference in real life, and you could barely see the difference. Actually, you can't even really see the difference on camera either. So this was a really, really good result. It makes me want to dye more dolls. But anyway, okay, so onto the body. We'll start from the top. So I believe I think I needed this body because I needed a like an 8.5 centimeter neck for the head, and he has a pretty thick neck. So it's early in the morning. I don't know what I'm talking about. So your chest joint, because it says a single joint body, there is no waist joint, which is what I wanted. He has a pretty decent range back, but that's as far, and forward it's a pretty good, it's got a good slouch. Really isn't a lip, so this is all smooth front and back. I will tell you, he came extremely tightly strung. So our shoulder joint is pretty standard. This does not have any notches. Some dolls will have a notch to hold it. It's actually really smooth. I do have sueding in there. And he gets some pretty decent range of motion. His elbow, he is double jointed, but you have to pull the peanut out a little bit. It does tend to want to snap back in because he is so tightly strung. And then the range of motion on the wrist is pretty good. It doesn't snap back, and the hands are nicely sculpted. I think they're actually the same hand position, it looks like to me, so it's basically the exact same hand. Okay. His hip, now he does have, if I can get it in there to show you, there is a ledge in there for this, so when he sits, if I can get him to do it, the ledge will catch, but when he stands, that little lip on the hip piece will catch that ledge on the inside, and I think it's designed to make him more stable, but I actually find it makes it so that his legs, they don't have a lot of move this way. So if you want that to happen, you need to kind of twist this peanut a little bit so that that lip unseats, and then you can move it, which is kind of irritating to me, but I've had worse. So yeah, that's kind of, but you still won't get a lot of motion this way. His arm is in the way. He has a swivel joint, and I don't believe, no, so that joint is completely smooth. You won't get the, you'll be able to like pull it out and have him pull his legs up. Like his elbows, he does have a double joint in the knee. There is a ledge or a lip, and you have to pull the peanut out. And he won't really hold it very well, but he can get that seating position if you want. He is a fantastic sitter, both because of these ledges and because this part of his thigh is completely flat. So when he sits really, really nicely, and he doesn't really move. And then for his ankle, he is very tightly strung, even though I've restrung him. So the ankle has some pretty decent range of motion up, but not down. But I mean, boys don't really need a whole lot down. He is a very substantially weighted doll. I was actually really, really impressed when I got him because he is a little bit heavier than Tamsin and Deacon, or not Deacon, Cade, but not quite as heavy as Phaedra. But Phaedra has more resin than he does because she's curvier, so she's thicker in parts. But yeah, so I didn't actually see a whole lot of reviews for this body, and I think it's one of Island Doll's newer body sculpts or bodies. I actually am really glad that I grabbed it because it's perfect for Deacon. I need to fix his hair. I'm not very good at reviewing bodies, so I don't know how many of these I'm going to do because yeah, I'm not that's not really what I do. But yeah, so if you're actually thinking about getting the Island Doll Hua, I'm not really sure how to say it, body, I think it's really worth it. It is substantially taller than your average 45 centimeter, 46 centimeter boy. Cade has shoes on, and Deacon is still quite a bit taller. So bear that in mind if you're looking for maybe a doll to go with your like 43 to 45 centimeter girls, unless you're looking for that size difference. He's a nice medium between probably a 45 centimeter and like 50 centimeter. I'd say he's a good option. Yeah, I think this does, I do believe that this body only comes in normal and white skin, but it took the dye really nicely, and I did not have to sand anything to begin with. So if you're looking for a more masculine body that is still MSD size but a little bit taller, and you're looking to dye it, I'd recommend Island Doll. This is a really good body, and I'm actually considering getting Cade a new body now because he's too short. But yeah, if you have any other questions, just leave them in the comments. I will put the link to the Alice's collection listing, I guess. I don't know what to call it. Which is where I bought him. I bought him through Alice's collection. And I will also put his measurements for the body in the description as well, in case you're looking to see if this is something that might work for a floating head you have. So if you have a floating dragon shell doll head, like dog or ferret, which is what Kate is, it's great. It's a really solid fit. I need to restring and like loosen him, but the range of motion that he has is pretty decent for not being a head that comes from the company that made the body. So yeah, definitely, in my opinion, a great doll, and I don't really need them to have that kind of motion because they're either on stands, standing, or sitting. So that works for me. But definitely, if that's something that you like doing, is having a lot of range of motion in the legs, he might not be the best one, because basically forward and back is all he can kind of do, unless you can fiddle with the hip joint a little bit, which I'm still practicing with. He can get a decent motion back if you mess with the joint a bit, but you're not gonna get a whole lot sideways. So yeah, he stands really well when you actually get those hip things, the hip joints to work. And yeah, he's a pretty solid stander too. But yeah, so I do apologize that this is kind of all over the place. I'm not used to really talking about like the engineering of my dolls. But yeah, so thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.